Have you been hanging and banging, brothers and sisters? Have you been in the gym, pumping that iron, and getting yourself in top shape? If so, you need to fuel your body, and nobody can do it better for you at a better price and a better quality product than our friends at Best Price Nutrition. That's bestpricenutrition.com. 1-800-499-4810. They got free shipping on orders over $99 in the USA. They even have a 30-day return policy. Ladies and gentlemen, Best Price Nutrition is where it's at. Are you looking to advertise your small business? Then look no further. The PowerCast Network has over 12,000 hits per day to our channel. We have packages starting out at just $1 per day. That's right, you can advertise to an audience of over 12,000 each day for only $1. Give us a call at 815-290-9087 or drop me a line at info@braddrake.net. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of the 1987 Supermod. This is the Christmas series, all December long, nothing but the AWA and WWF. It is episode number 300, everybody, and many of you are probably wondering why we're not doing anything to celebrate episode 300, and the reason being is that we really have a lot more episodes than 300. Remember, we split all the TV tapings and everything else, so to me, it's just another episode. An exciting episode, but we're probably realistically at like episode 400 or maybe even more with all the two-part television tapings. So, regardless, it's exciting to do this many episodes and to still be around and to still be gaining popularity and having fun and interacting with all of you wonderful listeners and viewers. So tonight, the AWA is in Milwaukee. That's right, we are running the Milwaukee Auditorium. We just traveled down from Portage, Wisconsin, where we did a spot show at the Portage High School gym, and now we're back in the trusty old Milwaukee Auditorium for a tour date. Let's take a look and see who's absent. Billy Robinson's a part-timer for us. It doesn't really matter. Jerry Blackwell's got that serious injury. And we have some action here. Bischoff's in trouble with Nick Bockwinkel for failing to pick up his share of the tab. He probably couldn't pick it up because he probably couldn't afford it. I think Vern was paying him like $200 a month at this time. I'm kidding, but if you ever listen to Bischoff talk, he does say about how bad things had gotten there. Okay, Larry Zbyszko is doing some protege work with Scotty Williams. Scotty Williams also did a lot of enhancement work for the WWF. And here's Randy Rose working with Chris Bassett and Ronnie Ellis. Good man, that Randy Rose. Let's go ahead and take a look at our card here, everybody. It is an exciting one as we have Malia Hosaka mixing it up with awesome Ondy Austin. The Texas Hangmen are going to do battle here with the Top Guns. Nick Kiniski and Eddie Guerrero will show off their talent in a light heavyweight match. The Dream Machine is going to battle Scott Steiner, and it's not going to go well for the Dream Machine. Steve Olsonoski, Steve-O, is going to mix it up here with Manny Fernandez. The Iron Sheik and Scott Hall will lock horns. In our semi-main, the young team of Bad Company will face the veteran team of Wahoo McDaniel and Baron von Raschke. And in our main event, everybody, Tom Zenk is going to challenge CURT HENNIG for the heavyweight championship of the world. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. Let's get to booking. Here we go. 10 minutes. Hosaka and Austin. And we'll have to check to see who's due for the win here because I don't remember. Here is Malia Hosaka. Here is Ondy Austin. So let's take a look at Austin's record here. It'll be able to tell us. And Austin lost to Malia Hosaka the last bout. So Ondy Austin gets the win here, everybody. All right, that one's all set. Next, we have the Texas Hangmen against the Top Guns. Texas Hangmen, of course, are managed by dastardly Don Carson. and they continue to gain experience and continue to get better. Here are the top guns. We can auto name this one, and we're going to double check to see who's due for the victory here. And Texas Hangmen got the win the last time. So Johnny Paul is going to get the win here for the top guns. And that match should have been 12 minutes. The adjustment is made. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback here about the WWF save, everybody. And it has been exciting and a lot of fun to do and has really taken me back. And I've gotten to do a ton of research and learn a lot more about the WWF. And it's been fun, it's been good, and it's nice to shake things up every once in a while. This whole month of the Christmas series has been an absolute blast. I've really enjoyed doing it, and I hope you also have enjoyed it. All right, these two wrestled last night in a spot show, but that doesn't mean anything. We're looking at the tour dates here, so there we go. Nick Kiniski is due for the win here over Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie Guerrero will continue his sulking and unhappy ways, and we may eventually have to send him down the road here. All right, Dream Machine is up against Scott Steiner, and we all know how this one's going to go. And here is the Dream Machine. And Dream Machine, of course, is... Ooh, his name is escaping me at the moment. Troy Graham. There he is, Troy Graham. Southern Wrestling, Memphis Wrestling legend. Lots of experience here, and he is helping Scott Steiner, and Scott Steiner is helping his career by getting all these wins and being an unstoppable force here in the AWA. Interesting thing I learned doing the WWF save was that when the WWF bought the Tunnies out in Toronto in 1984, they bought the rights to Maple Leaf Wrestling, and Maple Leaf Wrestling was a monthly television show recorded in Ontario or Toronto, specifically Maple Leaf Gardens. And the WWF kept that show, and Canada had a rule that if you were going to put television on their networks, a certain amount of it or all of it, I don't really know, had to be recorded in Canada. Hence why the AWA had Major League Wrestling and recorded it out of Winnipeg, and that, of course, was syndicated in Canada. So it's the same concept here with the WWF. Now, I also learned, after a little bit more research, that by the end of 1987, the WWF was actually sending, Maple Leaf Wrestling was actually Superstars. They just called it Maple Leaf Wrestling, and then they had Billy Red Lions doing some backstage work for them as hosting interviews and that kind of stuff. So that's actually what happened. But the WWF was still running the Maple Leaf Gardens monthly. It was a big moneymaker for them. So just interesting stuff you get to learn. And I know that at the end of 1986, that's why the AWA stopped doing Major League Wrestling. They could just syndicate directly in Canada, and so did the WWF. So interesting stuff, a little bit of information for you. Now, I also learned that WWF actually had a whole separate company called WWF Canada, and Jack Tunney, who was the fictional president of the WWF on WWF television, was actually the WWF Canada president. So he actually had a legitimate role. Now, that had something to do with tax reasons. I remember reading in a couple wrestlers' books about that, and hearing Jim Cornette talk about it. They would get a separate colored check in Canadian dollars from WWF Canada. It was something to do with taxes. That was the reason for it. Okay, I've talked about that long enough. Steve Olsonoski is going over on Manny Fernandez here in 14 minutes. And up next, we have the Iron Sheik and Scotty Hall going at it. And they are also going, no, they are going 16. But just interesting information and stuff I find fascinating about the history of wrestling. So here is the Iron Sheik, and here is Scott Hall. And I think Scotty Hall took the win the last time. Uh-oh, double-clicked the wrong thing. Yes, Scott Hall got the win the last time over the Iron Sheik, so Sheiky is going to get the win here and he's going to be doing it by manager interference. So we're going to see Don Carson get involved on behalf of the Iron Sheik here. All right, there we go. That one's booked. Up to our semi-main here, which is Bad Company versus McDaniel and Von Raschke. And McDaniel and Von Raschke are going to go over on this one because I remember clearly that Bad Company got to win the last one. So here we go. Here's Bad Company, and it's cool that McDaniel and Von Raschke are willing to put over the younger team. Just for the heck of it, I'll double check it, but I'm almost 100% certain. Yeah, that's correct. All right, we are going to have Wahoo get the win here. And our veteran team are the victors here. All right, we're coming up to our main event, 30 minutes. We are going to have Zenk versus Hennig. I want to say that CURT Hennig won the last time, but I don't remember. We'll double check here. All right, here's Tommy Zenk. Nah, I think Zenk won by countout. Here's CURT Hennig. Let's click on CURT Hennig and double check here. Yeah, Tom Zenk won the last time, so CURT Hennig is going to win this time. It's going to be an epic, and CURT Hennig is going to win by cheating, because that's what the champion does, and that's what keeps the interest of the fans going. All right, so this one is booked. We got a problem here, and we very rarely have this come up. Well, why is Vern Gagne doing so much road agenting here? He's got plenty of other guys. We'll have Greggy do this match. All right, we're good to go, everybody. 2 hours and 22 minutes on the card. We are in the Milwaukee Auditorium, which is always a hot crowd, great venue for wrestling, and an AWA stronghold. Let's get things going here and see how this card goes. All right, here we go. Red Text to Doom for the ladies. Ondy Austin gets the win by submission. Now, Ondy Austin should have a finisher. I put one in there, I think, when I created her. I'll have to check. All right, Red Text to Doom, like I said, 30 overall. That's all right. They're new. They're getting their reps. Here we go. The Top Guns over the Texas Hangmen, 59 overall, almost a 60. Lots of green there, everybody. And these two teams are getting over. And next, we have Eddie Guerrero, and he's losing to Nick Kiniski due to that backbreaker, 65 overall for these two. Up next, we have Scotty Steiner getting the win over Dream Machine with that Northern Lights suplex hold, and Scotty Steiner continues to get over. And look at that, a crowd at 10,000, almost 10,100. I'm pretty sure we sold out the Milwaukee Auditorium here. That is a hell of a crowd. All right, up next here, Steve Olsonoski gets a surprising win over Manny Fernandez here with his backflip. And lucky for us, Manny Fernandez didn't kick up a fuss. Got some nice bonus here on this one. Overall, our scores are pretty low so far. I'm a little nervous. And this one didn't disappoint. 89 for Iron Sheik and Scott Hall. Excellent score. And Iron Sheik gets the win with the camel clutch after interference from Don Carson. And you can rest assured that Don Carson struck Scott Hall in the head with a foreign object, thus causing Scott Hall to be incapacitated and the Iron Sheik to get the victory. All right, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. And this is good, too, that Iron Sheik is not yet showing his age. He's about 45 here, a little bit older. And Bad Company and Von Raschke and McDaniel get a decent score here, almost a 70 for these two teams. You can see that Bad Company is getting better. And Von Raschke and McDaniel are doing very well also. Let's see what our takeaways are. It's probably physical issues. Yes, declining physical ability, inexperience, and consistency. You know, the usual. Let's see how our main event does here. 92 overall. Excellent score. You can see that CURT Hennig really carried this one. And we get an outstanding score for these two. Excellent stuff. And I don't see any reason that we should not get a gain from this show. Yeah, this is good stuff. Solid main event here, everybody. All right, here we go. We're going to finish this one up. Yes, we get an 88. We get that gain. We are going to point out CURT Hennig, who did an outstanding job on this show. I also like to point out Don Carson. We're going to point out Scott Hall. Scott Hall had a great show here, too. All right, great performance. Good example. Good performance. We're going to make that speech. CURT Hennig is happy. Don Carson is pleased, and Scott Hall is pleased. Nice to see CURT HENNIG happy. It's rare that we see any wrestler be happy, but CURT HENNIG was there. Good stuff. And I don't know why I just clicked on the green, but I did. Probably because on the document, Word document that I use, green goes in there for what's being posted on Patreon. So it's probably my brain playing a little trick on me. And we're up next year in Chicago, where we are going to run the International Amphitheater. We could run the UIC Pavilion and change things up, but I don't know. We'll see what goes on. Maybe we'll do Chicago 2 times in a row here. I don't know, everybody. All right. There it is. That one is in the books. We're back to our main screen here. Let's see what's going on. And look at that. Over 1 million viewers for All-Star Wrestling through syndication. Excellent, excellent stuff. I'm telling you, the AWA is really on a roll here and really doing well. And let's check things out here. WWF live event. Rick Rude over Jesse Cortez. Oh, I don't even want to look at it anymore. These are so bad and they're getting so much worse. So thank you for tuning in, everybody, to this episode. Of course, we'll be back in action again tomorrow as the Christmas series continues all through the month of December. And you know, we're creeping up now. We're on the back stretch here of the month of December. So you know what that means? That means January 1st, new year, new you. You're going to be hitting that gym. Now, when you hit the gym, you have to feed your body right. It doesn't matter, you know, what you're doing. You have to feed your body right. You need protein. You need BCAAs. You need that creatine. You need supplements. And the place to find them is our friends over at Best Price Nutrition. We have a link in the description below. And you also saw their ad at the beginning of the show. So make sure you check our friends out, everybody. They're the real deal. Great price. I bought stuff from them. I think they're terrific. Now, back to business here for all of you that are new to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and then drop us a comment below. Let me know how you found the channel and what you think of it so far. For those of you that would like version 9 of the Supermod, make sure you head on over to braddrake.net. Drop me a line. I'll be more than happy to send you a link to the database and the picture pack, everybody. Last but not least, check us out on social media, facebook.com/groups/1987 Supermod. You can also find us over on Reddit with the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and we're going to see you tomorrow.